why it doesn't do that anymore, but it doesn't let me share to groups anymore. I have to share when I get off. That means my count won't be as high. When you guys start doing these live podcasts, Charlie Mueller will be showing up tomorrow at the demo day. Charlie had 2 knee replacement surgeries right after Vegas. And apparently he's getting around pretty good right now and can come out and swing with us tomorrow doing Facebook Live at the demo day. Can't wait to see you, Charlie. It's been a while. What's up, Jason? Guy, dang it, it's been a good week all the way around. Family's coming in town this weekend for a big wedding here in San Antonio. My daughter's coming in with my grandbaby. Kids are coming in. Saturday is the wedding. Charlie. I'll try to read a lot of the stuff you guys are saying, but if I can't get to it, I'm gonna kind of go through some stuff. I had a guest that was gonna come on tonight, but he had some trouble, right? Not bad trouble. Had trouble about 10, 15 minutes ago and had to back out. So what I'm going to do is bring Jeff on here when I get about halfway through. I think it's not going to be a long video, but it could change because I've got some topics I need to talk about before I bring Jeff on and basically talk. When it gets to this time of year, you guys are pretty much set on what, if you guys been watching us, on what we have coming out. What we're going to do going forward with a lot of these, live podcasts is transparency. Let you guys know. Let you guys know what's coming, what to expect, what to experience from the type of barrel, the type of length of barrel, or because that's basically what we're doing here. What we did to change it, Kevlar, basically going from here on out. We'll talk about our launch. There's going to be a launch on Monday, Tuesday. I think it's going to be Monday. Is our next launch going to be? I'll talk more about that as we get going into this podcast. But there's a lot of things that were going on today. Whenever you guys, when you do a launch, my dog, when you do a launch, and you throw something out there on the market that nobody's ever experienced, you tend to get feedback, and you have to answer a lot of questions. You got to understand too that this DDT bat is different. This is something that Porch put together. Took 6 months to get it out. It was launched last week, and Rachel, great job last night. Rachel Good has got to be the best podcaster ever, guys. Did a badass job last night. Every podcast I watch of hers on Tuesday night, she usually does her podcast on Tuesday nights. Tune into that. Rachel Good, but she's part of that Short Porch family, and just watch her work. It was amazing last night, Rachel. One day I will get there. One day I want to be like you when it comes to podcasting. But we'll see. When you put something out on the market that is new and nobody's ever tried before, and you put it in their hands and you kind of let it go. You don't try to convince them. You kind of guide them a little bit, and then you don't try to convince them on what to look for. You let them experience themselves. The one thing I will say, the feedback we're getting from the DDT is that it actually swings different. Nobody's ever, whatever, Rachel. It actually swings different. It's an acquired, Rachel, your bats should be there. I'll check again today, but your bats should be there. Your DDT too, it's well broke in. So you'll just walk right into it, and you ladies can start swinging it. You don't have to break that bat in. And I'll talk more about the DDT and what you have to do, what to expect. What I do see a lot of guys, and I try to answer the questions, actually, when they're talking about the compression, you know, they've got 100 swings on it, 80 swings on it, and the compression is still at 220. Guys, you got to give it some time. You got to get that compression down to 180, 190. You know, I have one that's 180, 175. That is amazing that it makes that different sound. Jeff called me today and was talking to me about, he has that one with his bat speed. He got it to about 70, 80 swings, and it turned into a monster. It'll change sounds on you. There was a really good live video today by Todd Cox, Phantom Sports, where he was with Ed Rose. And they were talking about the DDT, and basically talking about it gets that extra gear. Once it gets there, it starts to get that, where that ball carry in the air a lot better, you know, with that ball carrying the air a lot better, and hitting it with authority everywhere, like all over the place, swinging with that bat. That's the one thing that I will tell you, and you know, Trey Roberts actually talked about it. You know, you got to get used to it. You got to get used to that weight the way it is, because it's dual weights in that barrel. It's got 2 different weights. I'll go into it later on because I have a new one that's sitting right here. I also have the ones that I broke in, and I'll talk to you guys about that weight that's in that connection right here, that cone, and in that end. And a lot of you guys are feeling it whenever you talk about it. A lot of you guys are getting performance right out of the wrapper. I'm asking bat speed, so you guys with that higher bat speed are actually getting that good performance right out of the wrapper. And then guys like me, it's going to take a little bit to actually get that bat to open up for me. If you guys are hitting 52, you know, 300s, or if you're hitting spinners, it's going to take a little bit longer. But it'll still be worth it because you're breaking that bat in really good with those kind of balls. I suggest you don't hit it in cold weather. A lot of guys are talking about when, you know, I saw this the other day. Somebody was out there talking about when can I hit it, what degrees. Guys, any bat on the market, you should not be swinging under, in my opinion, 65 degrees, 70 degrees. We don't know. The reason I'm saying this about this bat is we don't know, because it's new. It's new technology. Weight distribution numbers are different. You have dual weights in the end of that bat and the connection. So it's going to react different. So the stress on that barrel is going to be different. So baby it, you know, and then wait for it to change sounds about 125. Average person out there, I'm not talking about you conference guys that'll grab it and playing 40s or 50s. You should be able to just walk right into it and swing it. But you guys that are the older seniors, what I see today too, with Ed Rose out there, having his guys swing it, a lot of you older guys going to like this bat too. I can see the performance that they were getting off it on that Facebook Live today. But I like it. I love it. Our guys, you know, we have the we have the older guys that hit with us too. We're going to be hitting in the morning. Everybody's supposed to be there, I think. The Garibay, we got Billy Husta. The girls are going to be there. And we're going to be at that Craig Field number 2 tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pleasant Valley Road, doing a demo day tomorrow. We will all be there. We will have short porch bats in our hands, doing a lot of video, doing a little bit of Facebook Live. I want to talk about a couple of things before I dive right into what I was going to. And again, guys, this is not going to be one of those videos where I think I'm going to be smoking it all the way to a 2-hour long video. I think it's, and I keep saying that, I don't have enough. I don't have well, like I said, when we get in this time of year, we're usually setting everything up last month. And then what we're doing right now is basically telling you guys, okay, these are when the drops are going to come. This is when the drops are going to come. And this is what to expect, you know, barrel flex, handle flex, you know. I'll talk more about that later. tackified barrel, and talk to you guys about that. I still have a cough, so I'm fighting that. And it's kind of like a dry cough, a tickle cough right now. These are our gloves, guys. These are Short Porch. You'll see them right there. Short Porch gloves. I will tell you this. Short Porch gloves are stiff. So this is mine. My wife has one upstairs. I think mine's a 14-inch. Hers is a 13. And I think, don't quote me on that, but I think I have the bigger glove out of the two. But very hard, right? So you have to break it in. I do like the way it feels. I like the open face on these gloves. But the one thing I did do right when I got it is I sent my glove to this guy, and he is a badass right there. I know you're gonna have to look at that backwards. Maven broke our gloves in for us. They charged the fee, paid the fee. It took about a couple of weeks. I got my gloves back, and they're amazing. And plus, they put that glove on that Maven. You know, we've been using this, guys, for about 2 years now. And then I cannot wait to try out tomorrow is that Stickum, because we do use a lot of Stickum, that spray Stickum. I'm going to try this tomorrow. I have never used this. It's a brand new one of those in a can. And I'm a big Stickum guy. I like everybody. I mean, I think most of our group like to stick them on their gloves, but not too much. But what I hear about this is it's not that much of a Stickum, because I don't like it to be too much on your hands. I have stuff I need to mark off. Todd Cox did a badass video today. I thought it actually, and Ed Rose, if you guys ever watch Ed Rose is a badass. He's been doing this videoing for a long time. He has a hitting down in Florida, and he was talking today. Go back and look at that. Todd Cox put it out today, where he was there just entertaining a bunch of the seniors out there. And these are older guys, 68 years old, 70 years old. I think Ed's got to be over 70. And the reason that I said this week has been pretty badass because all the feedback that we're getting from the DDT. I will say this, and I keep telling people this, stay with it. Keep swinging it. It's a totally different swing than you've ever experienced, because it's something that's not out there. It's new tech. The Kevlar is new tech. I did, talking about the shorts. They asked me if I'm talking about shorts. Yeah. The one thing about Ed, like Todd said, he walks around with his camera all the time. If you don't do what he tells you to do, he stops the camera and starts it over again. Like, we're not talking about that now. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We're doing this right now. And then he goes, like, he'll go, roll it. And he'll start asking you questions. I was like, he's guy's serious. But he puts on good stuff. I mean, he puts good stuff out there too. He's on Spotify. He does his own podcast with him and another guy. And he's on Spotify. But he's really serious into that shit. And you have to be. When you want to be good, you got to be serious about that shit. But, yeah, he was talking about the DDT, and it's something different. And like I said, this week is probably, this week and a half, because the launch was last week on the DDT, and it's just something that we're thinking outside the box, guys, is basically what the DDT is. And a lot of the Kevlar are thinking outside the box, not listening to what the naysayers are saying, and just do it our way, right? And that's basically what we're doing. And they keep saying it, but we keep proving them wrong when it comes to the Kevlar. Kevlar is some tough material, I will say that. I don't chime in on a lot of the things people are saying out there on social media, but I do talk about it when it comes to video, because there you're hearing it right straight from us. You're hearing it right straight from me. When it comes to stuff like that, we're not getting any kind of bats that are fragile from the Kevlar. If anything, it's the opposite. When it comes to hitting the bat, compression levels are staying at for a long time at a certain level, and you're still getting performance on it when it is in that 210 compression. So that's the one thing we talked about Kevlar in the past, is it does stay at that compression level at higher, and it actually is top performing with the Kevlar at that higher compression. No other bat out there did that in the past. Not even the old Zoc composite that we had. That's how come we'll be with Kevlar from here on out. And there's other things that's happening right now that you guys don't even know about with Kevlar. Now there is Jeff and Leslie. They're not satisfied with the Kevlar the way they did it, the way it's not responding, but the way it looks. They think they can make it better, but they gotta watch. Like we talked about this the other day. And there's a certain roof on things that where you can push it to. So we're actually experiencing that right now. You know, there are things that they're doing right now, because every time we do something, we've been successful at it, we move on. We go to see how better we can make it, going in a different direction. And that's how come we're putting out a lot of product. It's because we find out, you know, we got 12, we got 12.25, we got 12 and a half, 12.75, and then we got 13-inch barrel bats. All react different. We have 5 different flex handles on these bats that we can apply to them too. You will never see Short Porch repainting a bat unless we tell you we repainted it. And talk to you guys way ahead of, you know, everything on what we're doing. So we don't repaint stuff. We actually change material if we can make it better, if we're staying with it. I think what's going to happen with that balance, I think what's going to happen is with that Blackout, with that Spin Tech, that's going to be here for a while. I think we're kind of backed off on that one because we've gone to that roof. And then what I think has happened with the DDT right now, that's going to stay right there. The DDT is going to stay. And then we actually went to that roof on the DDT, and we're happy with it. We like the way it's performing. You get into consistency with it. What we can see through the testing, you're getting consistency with it. And that's the part that I like. A lot of you guys are, you know, looking at bats. What Short Porch does, they look at all different variances in bats, right? They're not just looking at top performing. They're trying to mix in the top performing with the consistency. Being able to control the barrel, not getting too much barrel drop, you know? So one thing I do love about what Short Porch goes in the direction is making the bat a top, like a weapon. And I've said this in the past with Short Porch. It's like making the bat a weapon, not just a top performing that you can just hit it a mile, and that's all you want out of it. Then you need to join a home run. Then you need to get into all these home run hitting contests, because when it comes to distance, there's such thing as you got to have control, right? Totally different thing. So what we're doing with Short Porch is we're building bats that you can control it and still get that performance. Why do you think, guys, with that DDT, it doesn't have anything on the barrel? You know, because I did some experiments a long time ago about the less stuff you put on a barrel, and you got to have that distinct line in it that I think you hit the ball better. Hand-eye coordination, I think you tend to strike the ball in a better spot. I've done testing on this way back in the 1980s, and it worked for me, so we're trying to apply that. A few of the bats that we actually have out there that have that distinct barrel with nothing on it. And that's how we built the DDT. So it's just not, we're not looking to power, because, you know, we would just be adding massive in weight and take a lot out of the hands. you know, you got to have control. So we add a little bit of hand weight, a little bit of flex, barrel flex, end weight. Getting too far into that because I want to talk about some other shit. Sorry about the crunching, guys. I'm trying to keep the cough down. Guys, Facebook, YouTube. I'm getting my ass handed to me on YouTube because a lot of those guys are asking me. I've got going on 9,000 subscribers on YouTube, and they're asking me, why don't I do podcasts on YouTube anymore? Well, when I used to do it at Prism, Prism would bring YouTube and Facebook together, but I couldn't invite people on to talk. And I'm pulling in an average 24 hours, 10,000 people on Facebook. Like tonight, by tomorrow afternoon, it'll be up to 10,000 people. So I'll pull in 10,000 people that'll watch me. And I won't pull those numbers in on YouTube, so they kind of get left behind. Although I do have a lot of subscribers on YouTube. So I'm going to try to integrate where I do this podcast, and now I got to download everything because Facebook doesn't keep your podcast over 30 days anymore. Like you can't have, after 30 days, they're going to start deleting all your podcast or your live videos. So I got to download those. I got to take them and transfer them over to YouTube. But guys, get on that YouTube channel, subscribe to that. TikTok, I've had somebody must be talking shit about me because I can always tell when somebody's out there putting a video out that is just talking shit about me because my viewership goes through the roof. My subscribers go through the roof. So in the last week, 5 days, I've got a ton of subscribers. They're on that YouTube channel. So automatically I know somebody's out there talking smack. So that's usually what happens, and I've been doing this for a long time. That's usually what happens when somebody starts mouthing off. It's free advertising for me. So they get on that, and it's called Short Porch Cutting Edge. It's on YouTube. Go and join it. I've got a lot of people out there that actually are getting on in the last few days. I am bigger now with YouTube than I am with used to be with Senior Softball Bat Reviews. That's actually an accomplishment right there, and all because of you guys out there that are subscribing to that channel. So I've had a big surge when it comes to that. I was talking earlier about, it's been a good week. I got a phone message today, a text message today from a old friend of mine that I haven't talked to in a while, and I didn't know he was sick last year. And Kim Vanbergard actually reached out to me today and talked to me a little bit. We talked a little bit on the phone. And he was hearing about the DDT on what's the new tech, what's the new, what did you do? And I've known Ken since for 15 years, as long as I've been doing this. Hell of a guy, and what he does in giving back to the senior people out there and training, doing a lot of his training stuff out there with a lot of people. I think it's amazing. He's a good guy. He was the guy that contacted me right when COVID hit and suggested that me and him separately, but just start putting out a lot of video, that's when I started the behind the scenes, is when the COVID, and Ken had told me we need to get something in seniors' house. That way they can sit at home, because a lot of them are quarantined because they are older. They do have a suppressed immune system where they're going to be at home just watching TV. So me and Ken started, talking about what we were going to put out. And I come up with behind the scenes where a lot of people would sit there for hours in front of so that was one thing that he actually turned me on to, and I thank him for that. And then he started putting out the swing makeover videos when it comes to that. But I'm going to send Ken one of my bats, and he's going to swing it. He's going to get back into it again because he's been kind of laid up a little bit. I didn't really go into detail. Now, there's been some talk going on recently about shave bats. And I don't think you guys know the severity of shaving shaving bats on how many people, who's doing it. Have I seen more of one than the other? In other words, your major plus guys, your major guys, your AAA guys. I will say this: I do see a lot of major plus guys having it done. I do see major guys having it done. Not so much in AA. I do see a little bit of AAA getting it done, but usually it's your major plus guys out there that are doing it. I don't know to the severity of how many more are doing it than the major guys are doing it, nor do I care, because at that point it's still illegal and it's dangerous. I've heard a lot of people pop off about, making all these bats hotter. Not necessarily about shaving, but pushing that envelope like Porch is doing when it comes to Kevlar, dual distribution. When it comes to that, is putting these bats in seniors' hands, and they're already hot. And he didn't understand that part of it. But the part of it is a lot of seniors out there want product that's hot. They don't want to go out there because a lot of them would just retire. A lot of people want to get out there and hit good bats, and they want to hit good balls. That's what I see the excitement when it comes to the older guys. Now, the reaction time, a lot of these guys are saying because all these bats are hotter nowadays, the reaction time, guys, that's on them. You guys got to understand that. We can't, if a senior wants to get out there and pitch or play third base, that's his decision to make. I'm not going to sit there and say you can't do it. I've never said that. If they don't want to play at that level, then they don't have to play in that level. That's a decision. That's a decision that they want to make. Our deal is building the best product out there, control, exit velo, distance, miles per hour, all that we're trying to build. Now we're leaving it up to you guys to make the decision to use the product. If you don't, to get a, it's freedom, I guess, to make your mind up for what you want to do. That's basically what we like, and we're not going to judge people on if they're older, because that's why they have major plus and then major, and they want to play major plus. Then they got to understand that ball's going to be coming pretty hot at them, depending on what bat they're swinging. But I understand the concern. It just that I think too many people are thinking too far into that, and I kind of got off the shaving part. But what I see is, and I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, is shaving's bad, guys. I mean, it's you guys don't understand how many people out there are doing it. I've had people text me behind the scene and actually say, what's the percentage, do you know? I haven't played in the major plus level in probably around 3 years. I haven't played in that level in roughly around 3 years. So I couldn't basically tell you what's going on right now. It changes every year. I did say about 10 years ago, it was going to get really bad because a lot of the guys that were coming in the 40s were playing conference ball, and they're bringing it with them. A lot of the guys that are playing weekend ball do it. I have seen it here in San Antonio quite a bit. Tony, he just messaged me. I'm going to give the swinging weights to my bat, the DDT, here in a minute, guys, whenever I get to it. It's a problem. I've talked to FatGuy. I have talked to guys that used to own bat shavers. They actually did it. I'm not going to tell you where, but that'll give too much information out. But they're talking about it's bigger than what we think it is. I just want to let you guys know that it's pretty big, guys. And you wouldn't even have, I've in the last 15 years I've been doing this, you should hear the names of the people that this guy told me who does it. It's bad. It's really bad. That's how come I kind of mentioned, if I ever get compression tested, I don't think I'll be swinging a bat that's 140 because I don't think I ever have swung a bat that's 140 because it doesn't benefit me. But if I happen to have a bat that's tested at 140, 135, I will actually request them to cut that bat open right there in front of me. That would be my request. I want it on video. You don't have to take it anywhere. Chop it right there in front of me. That way it doesn't get out of my hands. I have said that before, but I have to listen to what they have to tell me. If they tell me no, then I got to go by what they say, or I will be suspended on the mark right there. Right there when they're telling me this. They're in charge. One thing you guys have to fucking understand is they're in charge. And I'm talking about any organization that out there wants to test your shit. You cannot sit there and go, you're not taking this bat out of my bag. Let me explain to you guys why they want to take bats out of your bag. They'll look in your bag. They won't physically get in there and take them out. They'll ask you for those bats. Open your bag up. Let me look with their hands behind their back. Let me look. They're not going to go rummaging around your bat bag. If they do it right, they're going to ask you, let me see your bat bag. You open it up. Look. Then they're going to ask you to move it around in there. Because I tell you what guys are doing. And they already know this. Guys are taking their bats, shea bats, they're hitting with it, taking it back, putting it in their fucking bat bag. They're not leaving it out there for everybody to gawk at. You got to understand they're cheating. They're not going to throw it out there in front of everybody. What if somebody goes by and grabs it, rubs their hand on it, looks at the end cap, end cap's raised. If they're cheating, guys, they're going as far as taking it, putting it in their bat bag. I've seen it. I've seen them do it. Right? They don't want it out there for anybody else to pick it up and swing it. So they take it right straight to the bat bag. A well-known name did this. And take it back to his bat bag. That's why they're asking, let me see all the bats that are in here. Because what they'll do, these well-known cheaters will only put out the bats that they know will pass compression and leave that other one in there. So as a tournament director, what are you going to do? There was an argument happening at the girls division. Argument between a tournament director and a coach. And she asked her, and I understand what she did. She asked her, what happens with the bats they leave in the car? Right? What happens to those bats? And the lady goes, well, they're not using them. No, but they go about and pick them up whenever they're playing. So a lot of these guys they'll take those bats, put them in their car, and then they're getting ready to play. They slide in their bat bag. They take them inside. And then you have somebody out there. You better have a search warrant. And I tell you what they're going to do. You don't comply, you're gone 10 years. Now get your lawyer and come back and fight that one because it's in the rule book. If you don't give up your bat, like I just talked about a minute ago, I'll actually request them to cut mine open right there in front of me. I'll videotape it. But if they say, no, we can't do it that way, we don't have anything, and I'll try to say, well, I can break it open for you if you want me to, but I have to comply. I know my shit's not shaved. I'll have to give it to them. The only thing I would do that for, because I don't trust them. I don't trust anybody when it comes to that. When you have a platform, guys, I really don't trust anybody. So I would ask them to do it. If they don't do it, then I have to comply. Or I'm 10 years out. I'm done. I'm gone. If you don't sit there and say, here's my bat, you're gone. Don't comply. It's a lifetime ban. Thank you, Rachel. So I understand why they're doing it. And they have a good cause because guys who cheat will not carry that bat around. They will not be walking up there in their hand and then carrying the bat bag behind them, because when we got checked in Vegas, you can see the tournament director. There was two of them. One was leading us. The other one was behind. And he was watching where those bat bags were going. And he was actually in the crowd walking around and making sure that you pulled your bats out if you didn't. And we all did. We didn't have anything to hide. We were pulling everything out. And what they try to tell you is, what they try to tell you is they want to check every bat that's in your bag, because the way the cheaters are cheating, They hit with that bat, they take it, and they slide it back in their bat bag. And listen to this. They'll even have a lock on it. And they'll zip it and they'll lock it. I've seen that too. I've seen that quite a bit of times, guys. The 15 years I've been doing this, playing ball. Zip it, lock it. So yeah, that's what you're dealing with, guys. It's gotten that bad. That is what you're dealing with. So, if you don't, the way it's SSUSA. If you don't, then you're done. You know, if you don't sit there and you pick, they're not digging through your shit. That's another thing you guys don't understand. They're not putting their hands in there and digging through your stuff. I can't read all that shit, guys. I'll go back and read it. But they're actually asking you, put your hands in there and move it around. That way you're not hiding the bat. I've seen guys that'll hide bats too on that little compartment that's sliding over to the side. They'll stick it in there. So that's how bad it's gotten, guys. And you guys, I'm trying to read. You guys have to understand, there are guys out there that you don't even would suspect doing it or doing it. It's gotten the one thing over the last 15 years I've been doing the bat reviews. I've heard some names, and they're pretty high up there that have been doing it. A few of those guys have retired. A few of those guys are still playing. And I don't go by hearsay. You know, that's how come. You know, I don't go by hearsay. I go by proof. But when you have on about 4 of those guys, if you have the constant, well, he does it, you know, or he was hitting in a home run hitting contest, his end cap fell out, and he went over there and grabbed the end cap, and it wasn't a regular end cap, and which is a red flag. It doesn't mean that he was cheating, but it's a red flag. You know, picked up the end cap and goes, give it back to him. So, and then he takes that bat, sticks it in his bag, you know. But then again, it was a home run hitting contest, so what can you say? You know, he's not going to use that during the game. Yeah. You fucking believe that shit. What's up, Chris? So that's it on that shit. Guys, we have but I'm just telling you guys, I read all of these messages, and guys are out there trying to be all tough and or you're not. It's a lawsuit. You're not going to dig in my bank. Yeah, you don't do it, then you're done. You're done, buddy. 10 years. 10 years. Now you're gonna have to fight that one, and it's in the rules. You have to comply. It's in the rules, and you got to take that chance, right? I'll be like a little bitch. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. Take it. My dog. Now the rolling part, I need to go by this too. The rolling part, they really, whoo. I would like to find out how they get that done, but they're working on it. So that's the thing about the rolling part. I was doing testing on rolling. I had a bat rolling machine in my garage. I sold it, got rid of it. When they first came out and said they're going to test for that, I don't even want to mess with that shit. I don't want to put myself in a situation, and I've always done this in the past, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I can get in trouble. And I got rid of it. I sold it to a fast pitch guy that had girls in fast pitch. He actually bought it. So it's gone. I don't have it no more, and I don't give a shit. You know, I'll sit there and preach, don't do it. Don't get it done. And I know it's at a disadvantage for a lot of guys up north because they're not out hitting, especially this time of year. And they're not hitting and breaking the bats in, you know. That's sugar-free. It's some new stuff. I'm trying different stuff. Let you guys know what I think about it. That's another thing too, guys, compression testing. And Ed Rose talked about that today, and I have to agree with what he said. The one thing about compression testing serves a purpose with what Short Porch does. Find out how long we have bats that stay in compression, how many swings we have on them that will stay in compression. What is our compression number? Because everybody out there watching this freaking podcast tonight, this live podcast, in their mind should know what their compression number is. If you don't know what it is, it's very important that you find out what that number is. That way you can choose a bat from Short Porch that matches that compression number when it gets down to being broke in. What I have found out with my bat in the last 2 days is you have a bat review guy out there that hit it, gave his opinion on it, and I hope he's going to revisit it because he got it down to 220 compression on my bat. My bat gets down to 180 compression when I love it. It hits a different gear. So you're not giving the bat a chance because you're making a judgment call on a bat that's not broke in. Because you compression tested it at 220. You guys know I'm talking about. Not a bad guy. But I don't know if he was informed that the bat actually, high-performing bat actually will lose compression on you a little bit to get down to where those numbers are that you like. And he doesn't understand Kevlar either. So we got to put out videos, guys, about the Kevlar, what the compression numbers are, because they're totally different than the Zott composite and totally different than all these other bat companies out there too. So everybody in their mind with your Kevlar should know what that compression number is. Everybody with Zott composite, everybody with those other bat companies, you guys need to know what your compression number is with that bat. Our Kevlar is different. Kevlar with me is 190, 180. Kevlar with the Zott composite was 165, 170, right? So, but I can get down to 165, 170 with Kevlar and still get that great performance. But for what I want to do, it's 180, 185, 190, somewhere around there. That has across the board on all of my guys that are going to hit tomorrow. Their numbers have went up, right? But they can still hit that lower number with authority because of the toughness of the barrel of the Kevlar. And I hope that makes sense. If not, then message me, and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. There was a question somebody asked me the other day, and I do want to answer this because it tends to be a lot with senior ball. As we get older, guys, we lose bat speed. It doesn't matter what you're taking. TRT, it doesn't matter. You're going to lose some bat speed. You'll lose a lot more if you're not on TRT. If you're losing, if you have muscle wasting disease, what happens when you get a deficiency in testosterone, you start to get muscle wasting disease. You start losing everything. Bat speed goes down tremendously, a lot. So I'm talking about you guys out there that are on TRT from a doctor, and they're keeping you in those levels that you're supposed to be. I went in, I'd stayed off TRT for 10 days. I went in and got blood work on a new physician, my new primary. My levels were 192, 192, because I'd been off it for 10 days and I wanted to get a fresh start, right? Guys, I was spent. My body hurt, my ankles hurt, my neck, everything hurt. I was tired. I took a 2-hour nap during the day during this time. And then whenever I got the blood work, right after that, I took the injection for the TRT and I felt great. It took me a couple of days to rebound from that 192. And then I got my levels up to 750. So I've done all the experiments with it, guys. Talking about bat speed, you do lose quite a bit. And Guy was asking me, hey, every 5 years your body changes. That's what I think. A lot of people are saying 7, but I think it's every 5 years your body starts to change. There's something different that happens. So what's going to happen to a lot of you seniors out there, even in your 40s, go to 50s and 55s and 60s and 65 and 70s, you're going to lose bat speed. So the question that I was asked the other day was, You know, as we're getting older, we lose bat speed. What is your suggestion on what I should do? Because a lot of you guys think you should move up in weight. No, because you're struggling, right? Your bat speed is going down, but you guys move up in weight to get more bat head, right? You get more weight on the end of that bat. What's going to happen is you're going to barrel drop and you're going to have lag. So you're not going to be able to torque. So definitely do not go up in bat weight. Definitely big no-no. What you want to do, because you are losing bat speed, is drop, right? You want to get the biggest thing is a softer barrel. Because when you lose bat speed, you want to get that softer barrel effect because you got better trampoline effect. You're not going to implode it because you're losing bat speed. So I would recommend you dropping down to from a 26 to a 25, and then you have big mass. If you have big mass on the end and you got that 8.5, 8.4, 8.6 in the hands, you're going to create a better sledge effect and better control. It's about control, because anytime you move up in weight, you lose control. So this is for the ladies too that are out there. Dropping weight, guys. Everybody, when you're losing bat speed, dropping weight, you'll notice that you'll get better control, less bat lag. You'll get less bat lag, bat drop, barrel drop, because of the heavy mass on the end. A lot of you guys will even go over to a balanced bat. That is not a bad idea either, because you'll swing a balanced bat a lot faster. And because of the way the short porch wig popper is made with a Kevlar, that barrel is going to respond very good for you. So definitely that would be a way to go. Go from that end load to a balanced bat and stay in that same weight. Don't drop, don't go up in weight, right? So you're losing bat speed. I wouldn't say this for anybody else about going up, not going up, but everybody else, stay in that same 20. If you're swinging a 26 ounce end load, go to a 26 ounce balance bat. Your bat speed will go up. It's all about not losing over 4 miles an hour in bat speed. So if you go down, if you're losing it, you go down in weight. I'm getting too far into this, but you're losing it, you go down in weight, you're going to lose a lot of miles per hour. You don't want to do that. So drop the weight, right? I'm saying if you go up in weight, if you're losing it, you go up in weight to try to get that, what do they call it? That mass on the end that compresses the barrel flex. You'll get better distance. Well, you still got to swing it. You got your miles per hour can't drop below 4 miles an hour. So if you move up in weight, it drops below 4 miles an hour, it's killing you. So my suggestion, think about the barrel now. Drop your weight, right? Get a softer barrel, and your performance will go up, and your batting average go up, because you can control that 20. If you went from a 27, to a 26, you could be able to control it a lot better. You won't get that barrel drop whenever you're swinging it. So that's a lot of you guys are thinking too much the opposite direction. If I'm losing miles per hour, I'm going to go up in weight. No, you do not go up in weight. That's the big mistake everybody's making. My opinion only. You guys can go out there and talk to everybody else. That's just my opinion. Try it. If it works for you, then great. I'm not telling you everybody out there to start doing it. I'm just telling you this is my opinion that I'm throwing out there. Woo. I already talked about all that. Who did I got here? I'm kind of marking off everything that I did. Again, tomorrow, guys, demo day. I see a lot of you guys are still sticking around. And demo day is tomorrow. Jeff Kessler, where are you at? I think everybody wants to talk about bats now. Mr. Liao, how are you doing? You guys need to put out more video. You and Chino. It says unable to add guests. Imagine that one. I thought you said you had that fixed, Jeff. Let me, as he tries to get on here, let me talk about a couple of, it says unable to add guest is what it says. I tell you what, Rick, I'd love to. If my boss will fly me in, I would love to do that. But what we're doing with demo day here, I think we're going to try to have three demo days a year here in Texas. We got one that's coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk about bats out there. I have a lot of people swing the bats at Pleasant Valley. It's actually 515 South Pleasant Valley. I did not watch it. I watched Todd Cox in that video today. It wasn't Ed Rose. Ed Rose did have his camera going. I did see that in the background. But I like Ed. I think Ed's a hell of a guy. Unable to add guest. Every time you pull it up, like he'll ask me for a request, and I'll actually add him, but it says unable to add you. And it's saying it real fast, Jeff. I'm going to talk a little bit about my bat so we kind of keep things flowing. I'll get this out of the way. Guys, this is DDT, Dual Distribution and Technology. It's an idea that I came up with about 10 years ago. And I should say other people were with me when I got to say that too, because there were other people that was there. I've been doing my exercises too, Sarah, but it's hard. As you get older, those kind of exercises are hard in front of the mirror, especially when my grandkids walk in front of me and see me doing it. It's kind of hilarious. They're like, what are you doing, Pop-Pops? Don't worry about it. Keep moving. That's what I tell my grandkids. Don't worry about Pop-Pops doing. So it was an idea that we cut a bat open it was about 6 or 7 guys about 10 years ago, and kind of was brainstorming on where we should put, where we should, there should be weight in this cone right here when it comes to putting unable to add guest. And he's not at work either. He's actually away from work. So our idea was if you put the weight here and here, and the distribution is weight, I'm not going to talk about because that's something that's just with short porch, but the distribution and weight between these two, we're not going to say, but there is weight here, right in the end of this end cap, like very far in the end, and then you have weight in this connection. So one thing we found out is the energy stays in the barrel. The energy doesn't get transferred into the handle and go up through the hands are getting that little dampener that's here. It's kind of like I want to say limb saver, but it's not, that absorbs energy. So all the energy stays in this part of the barrel. What you get with that is consistency. You get where you're going to hit the ball same spot every time. I don't know if it has to do with the way the bat was constructed or the way you're looking at that barrel, and you have no distractions on it. So that's another idea I came up with years ago. I can say I on that one because it was me. But the other one, and I cannot sit here and tell you who came up with the idea first about DDT. Because everybody was in it. Mark Reeves was there. Billy Bleck was there. Trey Roberts was there. Clem was there. There might have been Sean Williams was there. Guys I started out with about 10 years ago. I started out with Dennis Abernathy about 15 years ago. So those are just different people that were there when we were brainstorming about it, but we didn't have the means to do it. We didn't have a company where we can go to and say, hey, I'm with Senior Softball Bat Reviews, and I have this idea. They'd look at me like I was an idiot, So it's something that's been there, something that nobody tried, and we tried it, and I actually think it's going to take off within the next few months because it already has. 25 ounce of the DDT, guys, listen. 25 ounce of the DDT is a 16.5 on the end, 8.4 in the hands. The one thing I will tell you when it comes to the DDT is do not listen to these weight distribution numbers because it swings more like a mid-load. We'll see what happens here. And then you have the 26 ounce with a 17.2 on the end and 8.6 on the hands. Wow.
What's going on, my man?
I see you're at my house.
Yeah, man. I was trying to take off work a little early and come over to the beach condo and chill out for a little while. So,
but it's a big day, Jeff. I mean, it's a big day. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's not say anything about it. But let's talk about that in a minute because it's an exciting day for Short Porch.
It is a damn exciting day.
I think it has been for the last 5-6 days. All the way into last week when we started doing launch, and then all the stuff that's been going on. What I do want to talk to you about, and I'll talk about the weight distribution of the DDT at the end of the video too. But I do want to get Jeff on here, and I don't want to. We're already into it, almost going on an hour now. But I want to talk about some things. Adam Fowler was going to come on tonight and talk to us. What I wanted to get from him is his bat. Talk about his bat a little bit and when it's coming out.
Yeah, so Adam's bat, we're not sure if it's going to launch Tuesday, Wednesday next week, most likely. And we're, that's another spin tech, and we're just super excited to launch that bat. It's been a lot of fun hitting that bat. I know y'all swung it a good bit, right?
What up? I'm going to ask you questions that I know about, but I want you to explain them. What kind of barrel? First, let's talk about the handle. It's a no flex handle, right? Because that's what Adam likes.
Yeah, it's a no flex handle, Kevlar handle, 12.5-inch barrel, spin tech. It's a medium to medium low bat speed target. It's huge sweet spot on that, and is what we've seen with tons of trampoline effect. Very, very durable. Everything about the bat has been really good.
The one thing that we talked about the other day was the bigger sweet spot with the bigger barrels. We're finding out that it's a little bit better performing on that sweet spot area. So plus the grip spin technology we have on the end too, and plus that extra added weight. So everybody loves Adam's bat. I mean, if you watch the video on us swinging it, that was the biggest request tomorrow at that demo day was Adam's bat. And the Blackout and my bat were the biggest requests with the FatGuy BP bat. But that's already been sent to Rachel when she's on here. I already sent that bat off to her, and then find out today it's going to be out next week. So I wanted to bring him on tonight, kind of have him talk about it. We could do that next week when we launch.
Yeah, we have Adam, and I'm actually going to be going to see Adam and taking the bats, and we'll be doing some live from the field with him hitting the bat when I make it up that way next week.
Sweet. Now, after that, DI.
The Brewtown. The Brewtown. The Brewtown's going to drop 7 days after the FatGuy BP. We're going to do it exactly a week apart. That is the 13-inch medium to high. So like you've been talking about, we're finding 2 ranges with the Kevlar. So we're going to have the medium low FatGuy BP. We're going to have the medium to high Brewtown 13-inch, and it's going to come in half sizes, 25.5, 26.5, 27.5. We didn't make 25.5 in that high bat speed bat last year, and a lot of people were upset with us. So this year we had the 25.5. No spin tech on that because the spin tech with the 13-inch barrel, we could not do that in the 25.5. As you know, we've been having weight problems, right?
With the shell. The shell is just too heavy for us.
Yeah.
When it comes to that. What and we got other things. It's gonna be bat bags. Now, a lot of people keep asking about bat bags. We have updates on bat bags.
We have our first four-wheel rolling prototype bat bag that we think will just need to be kind of small changes made to it. Prototype. It is en route to my office. It is going to be there sometime Friday, along with some batting gloves, as we're about to overhaul our batting gloves. With our goat skin material on the batting gloves. And I know a lot of people just dying for the short porch bat bags. What we'll probably do is run a short run for our people first and make sure everything checks out. The Daves and the Treys and Brandon Murrays and Stacy's, and we'll probably all run bat bags and get them out and make sure everything checks out real quick, and
Yeah.
then go into mass production.
Sweet. A lot of people were asking about that.
Yes.
Now, hold on. Let's talk about the BB core bat, the baseball bat, a little bit, just a little bit, and then we'll talk
Yeah, I
about the big
definitely do.
surprise.
I've been really, I guess from talking to me, I've been super excited, right, about the baseball bats. It is the DDT Scandium Kevlar high school college baseball bat that we finished with them, and now we'll be going through the certification process. So sometime in the next probably about 60 days, we hope to be certified with the first ever DDT baseball bat.
Sweet.
Um, Man, that bat, everybody who's hit it is just absolutely in love with it. It's one of the most exciting products as far as when it comes to players come in and hit it, and they are like, wow, what is going on with this technology and this bat, and when can we buy it? So we're getting a lot of that, and we're super excited about putting the DDT tech into college and high schools across the country. Don't really have a time frame on that, but it's coming.
Sweet. And then the DDT tech on the U-Trip bats, that's down the future, right?
Yeah,
That's
DD
nothing
tech.
nowhere close because of what we have on the table.
Yeah, the DDT tech on the U trip. Um, we run into some hiccups there with just how high performing the DDT is, and obviously the USSSA allowable limits. We've been making changes just just because it's overperforming for USSSA, to be honest. So we're fixing that, and I hope in the next few months to also be certified in the USSSA DDT. The thing about the DDT is how high performing it is. It's not that it has a problem performing; it's that you have to be careful. Well, every sanction has
Yeah.
regulations, so this is just stuff everybody goes through.
Yeah. That's not the excitement.
That's
All
not
of
the excitement.
that stuff we talked about is not the excitement that I got the phone call today on and screaming. Um, talk about what got approved today.
So we are certified with our first USA ASA model that everybody's been asking for 2 years now. Since we jumped into making bats, all we ever hear about is when is the Short Porch USA ASA softball bat coming out. It is approved, and we expect May 1st, somewhere around May 1st, to have a production run for sale. And that happened earlier today. And we're super excited. USA ASA was super excited for us. And it is a one-piece Kevlar, and I'll tell you, it's been a fun bat to engineer, and it is. We'll talk more about the specs on it and the engineering behind that. But the USAASA version is coming. It is approved, and Stork Porch is on the way to market with it.
It's a one-piece bat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 12.75 one piece, and as you know, 12.75 is a very high performing model.
Yes. That was the biggest. That was the one thing that we wanted to actually get out because that was the biggest. Every time that we did a podcast, people were asking about the ASA market and where we're going to go after that. We were kind of holding off on what was going on with that, and rightly, because we did not know which way it was going to go because of the high performing bats that we have, and then it got approved. So Dennis is asking the name of the bat. We haven't even talked about that because it just got approved today. We kind of waited till it got approved, and then y'all guys will brainstorm on that, on what it's going to be called, going forward. But you're talking about a couple of months down the road, 2.5 months down the road, that we will have these prototypes in our hands.
So the production, the model, obviously we're ready to go to production. It'll be on Leslie to put the artwork together, and for us to move forward just with the graphics. I do know what name it was going to be called a few years ago, but I think that'll change. So I won't drop that name because I don't think that's what it's going to be. But we'll be brainstorming on that, and all that'll happen in the next 72 hours. The bat and the graphics in the bat will all happen in the next 72 hours. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because it just got done today. Like it
just got done today, and we wasn't expecting this. They had told us it would be another month, and then all of a sudden we got an email that we were approved. So, and a very lengthy email, kind of guiding us through the rest of the process with USASA, because they knew this was our first bat, and it was exciting. They were very excited for us, as you know, this was something that we had re-engineered several times, and just were trying to get the bat to market.
Yeah. And then worrying about would it ever make it to market.
Yeah,
that's another thing too. That a lot of behind the scenes happened with this bat.
Yeah, a lot of behind the scenes, and the Kevlar material just proved to be too durable for the ASA USA testing, to be honest. And I know some people would find that crazy, but it proved to be overly too durable, and that's where we were running into hiccups. Long story short, but you know that to be facts, right?
Yeah, definitely facts right there. So that is great, guys. That is something that I guarantee is going to be a buzz for a while. Not only that, but all the new stuff that's coming out with all the new signature bats, not only coming out next week and the week after, but after that, that's going on, and everything that's on our plate that we can't talk about, and there's good shit coming. Jeff, I'm glad you came on tonight. If you have anything else, have at it. But to kind of like solidify everything, I didn't want to get too long into all this on what's going on. Basically, shock and awe. Because we had a great week. This has been a great week.
Yeah,
a great 7 days for us.
I will say the DDT launch was one of the most successful launches that we've ever put together. We had our third largest week in Short Porch history last week, and that's in February. And behind Monster January. And I can't thank all the Short Porch people enough, and all the things we're doing and moving with all the bat models that are to come. And you're right, there's a ton of senior signature models coming out soon, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And DIs, I'm not going to get into the rest of them because right now it's the next on the clock is FatGuy BP and David Ireland's bats, and the FatGuy BP is for a great cause. So I hope everybody jumps in and helps us donate money to the Miracle Leagues, the 2 Miracle Leagues we're going to be donating money to. So we just thank everybody for all the help over the last week, because it was wild. I'll tell you, Alan and them, they actually brought their team into Short Porch while we had to launch Friday, and I couldn't even, it was too busy in there. I couldn't even really talk to them, and it just turned out to be a crazy day. And, the whole week was wild, because if you remember, we dropped some of the Blackout spin techs earlier in the week.
Yeah.
And I know we told people it would be mid-March before they got them bats, but first the next week, all them blackouts are shipping. So out
Sweet.
to all the customers. So everybody watching, you can look for it to get your blackout. If you purchased one last week, you can look for it to ship next week. As you know, when we do pre-sales, the bat's almost done. We're usually painting the bats when we drop pre-sales. So.
Sweet. That's great.
But
Great news.
yeah, man, I appreciate it, Dave, and everything. I know the DET, I can't imagine the texts and the calls you were getting and having to answer questions. I know we were. I will say, to touch on what you said about the bat really is an incredible swinging bat, but it swings fast with the mid load that is in it, and like we talked about, mid load and end loaded, and went with it keeping all the energy. It really does just turn into a monster after 50 to 100 swings according to your bat speed. And we hope everybody loves it as much as we do, because I've been hitting that bat, and I'll tell you, it just baffles me at the numbers I'm getting off of it right now. So it's been a lot of fun. Just, past all the business aspect of it, that damn bat's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I'll tell you that. So
That's what I like about doing it. Is it like we're going to hit it tomorrow again? We have the old ones and we have the new ones. The same ones we have from Florida. We'll be hitting tomorrow again too for a lot of the seniors out there. Then I have the ones you sent me the other day that I kind of want to get broke in a little bit for when I start playing in the next couple of months. So, but we'll be out there hitting. I'll be hitting tomorrow, but we'll be out there hitting tomorrow on that demo day up in Austin. So if you guys can come out and look at the new product, the new material that we have and what we have coming out in the future too. Jeff, thanks for jumping on tonight,
thank you, buddy. I
kind of
appreciate
explaining a
it.
lot of things.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. I'll talk to you in the morning.
All right, buddy. There you go, guys. I wanted to bring Jeff on. I wanted to have Adam on here early to talk about his bat a little bit. And then I wanted to bring Jeff on there at the end and talk about the great news that we have today from that. That was one of our biggest things, because we've been telling a lot of people that we're working on it. And then unexpectedly today, he gets that message going, "You've been approved." And it was a big deal, because we had been over testing. We've been blowing it out of the water. And then finally today we said, okay, it passed, right? And I cannot wait to actually share all of this, well, especially with ASA, all of this ASA market that is actually out there that a lot of people haven't tapped on with good product. And I think the Kevlar material that's coming out will actually enhance that and make it better. Let me give you guys the numbers, and I'm getting off. 25 ounce, 16.5 on the end, 8.4 on the hands on that DDT. A lot of you guys are asking me. I will put all these numbers up. I'll start building it this weekend. I will put all these numbers up on weight distribution, on a lot of our material up on my website. SeniorSoftballBatReviews.com is my website. I'll get it up there first, and then later on we'll transition that over to Short Porch website. But a way for you guys to get on there and talk about what better bat fits your swing on miles per hour, that will start going up on my website this week, and SeniorSoftballBatReviews.com. 26 ounce DDT, 17.2 on the end, 8.6 on the hands. Don't worry about these numbers. 27 ounce DDT, 17.8. Do not worry about that number. It's a mid load. 8.9 on the hands on that 27. 28 ounce Clem's bat, Ken Vanbergaard's bat, Gene's bat, 18.3 on the end, 9.1 on the hands, guys. I will be putting, and this is another thing too that I actually talked to Jeff about, and he agrees, because I do have a website out there that was Senior Softball Bat Reviews. It will still be called Senior Softball Bat Reviews, but it'll be a hub you guys can go to, and I'll start working on that, on weight distribution numbers on that DDT, on the Blackout, what you can look for, because that tends to be a lot of questions people are asking. That way you don't have to call Short Porch, because we're putting out so much good product. They're working and asking these questions. I will have those questions first on my website, SeniorSoftballBatReviews.com. I will start working on it, and because I haven't worked on it in about 6 months, guys, I'm going to start working on it. It's there. I've been paying on it, and then I will put on what Adam Fowler bat, the FatGuy BP bat, what your miles per hour, what the compression levels are getting down to, a whole lot of information that you guys can go on that website and find out. And I think that would better benefit everybody out there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Good shit coming. Thanks for the Army. You guys out there, the support, the reps out there that are doing this, your signature player guys out there, your factory hitters. Guys, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Keep the videos coming. Thanks, guys.